Today, let's talk about evaluating piecewise functions. A piecewise function, just keep in mind they do comprise of more than one expression. So think about having multiple pieces together as one function. And in order to evaluate, you need to determine which part of the function rule to apply. So let's look at a few examples together. Here is your first example. You have a function, f of x, and it does have two parts to it. Now, notice that with the very first question that you are asked to evaluate, which is f of 0, you need to see which function rule to apply. So notice that if x is less than or equal to 3, that actually fits with my 0 that I'm looking for. So I know which function rule I need to apply. I need to apply the 3x plus 2. So I'm going to take that 3x plus 2. I'm going to substitute the 0 in for x. And order operations, I'm going to evaluate, and my final answer is 2. Now, if I look at part B, here I have f of 3. So let's see which part of my piecewise function I need to use. Well, again, I'm looking at the very first rule because if x is less than or equal to 3, well, that fits. It's equal to 3. So again, taking that 3x plus 2, replacing that x with the 3 and doing my order of operations, my final answer is going to get me 11. Now my part C, here we go, f of 6. Now notice that I'm going to use that second part of my piecewise function because if x is greater than 3, that fits the value that I'm giving that I need to evaluate. So 6 is greater than 3, so I'm going to use that rule of x minus 1. Take that 6, substitute it in for the x, and your final answer is going to get you 5. Here, I give you a graph. So this is a piecewise function just in graph form. So still, let's evaluate the different parts. Now, here in part A, g of -3, my x value is -3. So I'm going to go to my graph at -3, and I'm going to see at -3 that y value is 0. So my evaluating of part A, I'm going to actually write down my y value of 0. Here we go in part B, g of -1, so that x is -1. But when you go where your x is -1, you have two different points. One that has an open circle, one that has a closed circle. Now remember that if you have an open circle, it is not included, so you're going to choose that point that has that closed circle. So that y value is 1, so my answer for B is +1. Here in part C, g of 3. So again, I'm going to my 3 and going up to my function, and I'm going to see what that y value is. That y value is +1. And last but not least, for part D, g of +1, you go where your x is +1. Notice that you do have actually 3 different points. You have 2 open circles and 1 closed circle, but you got to choose the closed circle there with that value of -2. All right, some things to remember. Please make sure you look at the correct part of your piecewise function and remember that open circles on a graph are not included. If you liked this video and it helped you, go ahead and click like and don't forget to subscribe for more notifications on future videos. Thanks for watching.